So we are busting out the gameplay commentary one more time because this topic doesn't really need any flashy graphics. It doesn't really need any extra things popping up there on the screen. What I wanted to refer to, though, was a really intriguing update in regards to the Montreal Canadiens and what their power play could look like. This is all stemming from a podcast clip of The Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro from yesterday, July 22nd. It's a clip, which will be linked in the description, that features Eric Engels on the broadcast, talking about how there's no reason why the Montreal Canadiens should not have one of the top 10 power plays in the league this year. If they're healthy, it has the potential to be top 5. The headline at the top also reads, "Do the Montreal Canadiens have the best second power play unit in the NHL?" Said second power play unit is displayed on the screen. Brendan Gallagher, Alex Newhook, Zach Bolduc, Patrik Laine, and Noah Dobson. Now, here's the thing. Engels goes out there and talks about the second unit like this, and he says that it is assembled like this without Kirby Dach for a very particular reason. Mostly due to Alex Newhook's puck transition ability. Now, to his credit, Engels does say in the clip that Dach does have the potential to be as effective, if not maybe more effective, than Newhook in that puck-facilitating role down the middle, but because of how things are projecting and because of the health status of some of these guys, Newhook in that spot makes a lot more sense for now. Here's the interesting thing. Engels is very particular about the success potential, the upside for this power play unit, not just the second, but the first. Of course, the first has the same cast that we're all familiar with: Demidov, Slav, Caulfield, Suzuki, and Hutson. Everybody knows how good they are, everybody knows how good they can be, and they will be the top power play unit heading into next season. But this second unit, with Patrik Laine, Bolduc, and Dobson, all as new additions, can bring some life and goal-scoring support as well. Which is where Engels' assessment comes in, saying, yeah, if the Habs are healthy and if they have themselves the mojo, they can have a top 5 power play in the NHL this upcoming season. And I honestly would agree. Caulfield, Demidov, Slavkovsky, Hutson, and Suzuki is so effective, and that second unit has a lot more potential with the likes of Bolduc and Dobson in there. Sorry, Mike Matheson and Josh Anderson. But here's the thing that I thought was super interesting about this conversation. Not necessarily the Kirby Dach, Alex Newhook swapping around. You could say that it's maybe a talking point that Kirby Dach is not projected as a power play player for Montreal at this point. But the interesting thing about this segment is how Engels says that he has spoken to Patrik Laine about this, and he knows this for a fact. But Patrik Laine actually prefers playing with a right-handed player to get him the puck on the power play, not a lefty. And Engels says he knows, Laine knows, that Patrik Laine was potting in goals left, right, and center from Lane Hutson passes on Power Play 1 earlier this previous season. But Hudson's a lefty, and even though it did work, Laine prefers a righty sending him those passes. Something about the area in which the puck traverses the ice and where it's more likely to end up. Guess what? Noah Dobson's a righty, and he'll probably be overtaking Mike Matheson for second power play duties. Thank goodness the puck isn't going to go into shin pads anymore. But Noah Dobson was a 70-point guy with the Islanders just 2 seasons ago, and he was doing all that as the top power play guy. The Islanders were productive. There was a lot to like out of what they were doing. Dobson can be a number 1 power play dude if you wanted him to be, but you know he's not going to be that with Lane Hutson in the mix. So having what is essentially 2 power play 1 capable guys in Laine and Dobson on the second unit, with the net front battling presence of Zach Bolduc, Brendan Gallagher can do that too, the puck traversing ability of an Alex Newhook, there is no reason why this second power play unit actually cannot be effective. And honestly, I think the only feasible way we can see them not be productive at all is if power play 1 takes up all the minutes, they score all the goals, so power play 2 never goes out there on the ice, period. That's the only reality where I see this power play 2 not meshing, where I don't see Laine and Dobson actually getting chemistry and being able to feed off of each other, Dobson setting up Laine for those 1-Ts. That's all you need, really. It's like Carlson and Ovi in Washington. Like, very similar stylistic situation, honestly. Laine doesn't even need to move. As long as he gets that shot off, as long as he's feeling it, as long as he's feeling confident, he gets that pass in the area that he likes, and bam, it's in the back of the net. That's all you got to worry about if you're Patrik Laine at this point. And I think, for a lot of Montreal Canadiens fans, that potential is starting to get us all very excited. So, I wanted to ask you the question here. Firstly, what does it mean, in your opinion, that Kirby Dach isn't really projected to being a power play guy at this stage of the offseason? We're thinking about the lines. Eric Engels is going out there and writing it out. He's saying, yeah, maybe at this point it doesn't look like Dach should be the guy. He could be, if he's healthy. If he's feeling it, if he's good, then yeah, there is a possibility that he can be the guy. But he just doesn't really have too much going for him at this point. So, ultimately, I do wonder, where does the Kirby Dach conversation go? And also, how do you feel about the idea of Patty Laine liking a right-handed shot, feeding him the puck more so than what he's getting out of Lane Hutson? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think this is going to bode better results for the second power play unit? If Laine is feeling more comfortable with a right-handed guy sending him the puck, then anything's possible, right? If power play 1 doesn't go out there and score a goal, all of a sudden you've got a power play 2 with a Patrik Laine caliber shot on there to worry about instead. It's going to be a nightmare 2 minutes for whichever team has to go out there and kill off penalties against the Montreal Canadiens in 2025. For what it's worth, though, Engels does also say in the broadcast, and I didn't want to make the entire video about this particular thing, but there is a conversation on the broadcast about how, oh, Patrik Laine, if this guy is traded or something, then you should really keep your eyes out on that because he has a really big cap hit and the Canadiens need more cap space. There, of course, is always going to be that discourse about the salary and whether or not that means a guy like Laine is in or out. But for now, we're projecting him as a member of the Canadiens. That's all we got to go off of, I guess. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Patrik Laine and the situation in Montreal? He prefers Noah Dobson. He prefers a righty, even though Lane Hutson was very good for him. What are your opinions about all this? Let me know in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.